few
You were the
people.
OGs who knew
OGs.
about it. Little bit of like behind story. It was the first agency I fought with.
Are we spilling tea today?
How to get the best out of like toners, because toner is for hydrating, right?
They gave me a snorkeling device. I'm like, what am I gonna do?
I've adopted Soo again because you didn't answer my call.
Oh
What was your excuse?
I didn't even know she called because I was in Bali in another.
Roll the clips. Roll the clips. It's not pure vitamin C.
It is famous for being.
Imagine
like
I call Soo and I ask her.
Maybe she's.
Okay. Yeah, we brought her back because, you know, we want to talk more skincare with her,
It's
obviously.
so fun. Last time we filmed, it was so fun.
Yeah, what was that thing?
준이 oil. 준이
so long.
oil. 뭐지 인사?
Introduction?
Yes.
Like, 안녕하세요, like BTS.
Dive into I 막 이런 거.
Dive into! Literally dive into Torriden!
yeah.
Dive into Torriden! So, as you can tell, we're going to be talking about Torriden. What did you just do? What is your first impression of Torriden?
Actually, you know, Lauren 팀장님 was like, do you want to film? I was like, yes, because, you know, Torriden's huge now. But when they were just starting out, I think I was very few people who mentioned them online.
You were the OGs who knew about it.
Actually, if you put it that way, I'm an OG in a lot of
Things!
things. But
For me, I learned about Torriden when I was doing influencer collabs. A little bit of like behind story, it was the first agency I fought with.
oh damn.
Not
Tea.
because of Torriden.
Are we spilling tea today?
But Torriden wanted to collab with an influencer and I managed it. And then they didn't even do a face swatch. They just like, this is really
Who is it?
nice.
Who is it? Who is it?
But I was like, oh, we want swatch tests. And they're like, no, you confirmed the draft. I was like, no, I didn't. And then we kind of went on a whole thing. But the video came out great. They did the swatch test. But that was the first time I was like genuinely stressed with an influencer
You have
collab.
to be very, very detailed and like.
In Gangnam Oliveyoung, do you remember? There was the pop-up
Yes,
store.
Yes, I did a video with them.
Yeah,
on
you
it.
did
Yes.
a whole video with
Yeah,
Darcy
yeah,
by
yeah.
Lauren. I watched the video.
Yeah.
This is Lauren.
Torriden is having like a major booth moment in Oliveyoung Gangnam, so you can check it, which is right here.
This one is so good.
Torriden had a pop-up store for a whole month during August.
Yes.
August 1st, I went there and
Yeah.
I did a video on TikTok with the guy.
Oh yeah, I remember the freebie guy.
The freebie guy.
Ah.
And I really liked the pop-up store.
Yeah,
and
me
it had like
too.
bunch of like station games.
Yeah, station photo booths, and you could test out all of their products. I don't know if they had upgraded their sheet mask, but their current sheet mask, I'm living for it because I have contact dermatitis. So
What is that?
It means like I'm very sensitive to material because sometimes it will give me like bumps. Yeah, the sheet material is very like soft, very hydrated. It feels almost like silky in a sense, but it works amazing.
It's basically like the serum like squeezed into the sheet mask. One of the things I really like about like Torriden is their design because it's so like you can see it's Torriden from miles away. You know what I mean? And it's not like they have extravagant design. It's
No.
just super basic and minimal. And I love the packaging. It's like the labels. I really like recycling. I love recycling bottles.
know, yeah,
and
it's
then
great.
if you go to like Oliveyoung's, there's like the recycling like pods.
Oh really?
In all Oliveyoung, and Torriden product you can recycle in Oliveyoung and it will be reused again. The stickers is like it's so satisfying to peel the
Yeah,
stickers
it
because I'm almost
is.
done with my like dive-in serum right now.
Yeah.
So when I peeled it, it was like ooh. And actually, there's a lot of like pollution going on because of the residue, like the sticky residue of like those plastic wraps. It comes out super smooth. There's nothing like residue left, and it's so good for the environment because those are the things that animal like consume and it hurts them, it hurts the environment, it hurts the animals. So I feel like they put a lot of thought into that.
I love how they color coded everything. So like blue is for hydration, yellow is for like ceramide moisturization, pink is for like elasticity. So it's and then green is for like calming acne. So I love how they made it really intuitive, very easy.
I recently had an allergic like reaction from licorice. There was a
Eating licorice or the ingredient?
it had the essence essence had a licorice in it. I didn't know about it. And I also didn't know I was allergic to like licorice.
Yeah.
But then I applied it one night, woke up the next morning, had red rash, and like there was so many textures. I'll show a picture. But basically my skin was super angry, super irritated, and I was basically like panicking. But I was just like, let's keep it minimal, let's keep it simple. And Torriden was one of the brands that I like reached out first. And what I love right now is the Dive-In Serum and the Cica Serum and the soothing creams from Dive-In line. They calmed my skin down in like, I think I used all of them in like 2 to 3 weeks, and now my skin has calmed down like perfectly fine. I stopped all vitamin C's, I stopped all retinols, I stopped everything, and I just had to like find ways to like calm my skin. I realized that when my skin was like having that allergic reaction, I was super dry. I'm an oily skin and it was super dry. And then I'm so glad that like the past me picked up the Dive-In Serum because it has so much hyaluronic acid. I think it has like, it's called like 5D hyaluronic acid, which means there's 5 types of hyaluronic acid. And I've learned that hyaluronic acid holds 1,000 times, 1,000 of water in 1 hyaluronic acid, and then imagine 5 types of hyaluronic acid, and I applied that like twice or like 3 times a day. It basically really replenished my skin.
And I heard that they collabed with Sydney, so it's going to be good because okay, this is kind of like a TMI. A lot of the products that YouTubers collab with, they made, they're really great quality. And because we've used so many products, we know what's good. And we don't want to like make a product that's the same as, you know, any other product. We want something special. She probably like grinded her soul making this or something. The Cellmazing Firming Cream, I think it has the most elegant formulation out of all of the products. Like a lotion, it's not a cream. Like
all of their creams are like that.
And it feels silky and it just really leaves your skin like really tight. Like, I don't know, like 쫀쫀해.
Because it's pore like minimizing too, like.
Yes.
And there's a picture like it shows how much like the pores like decrease. I really personally like the applicator, like the squeezy tube. Like
it feels fancy.
Yeah, it feels fancy. Creams, they can like collect a lot of bacteria based on their packaging and how we use them. The firming cream, it's like an eye cream, you know what I mean? So I just put it directly on my face like that.
Oh, really? I do it on my hands and then I go in.
Yeah, that's also like hygienic, is like you could just put it on your clean face. As an oily skin, if I put on a cream, I feel oily and it's just something I have to deal with because creams are just...
For me, it really seeps in well into my cheeks. So I'm just like left with this really, really refreshed, like tightly, like mochi-like skin, which is my favorite because I don't have anything dwelling on top and I can, you know, go with my makeup or just, you know, chill for the rest of the day. So I really, really, really like the Cellmazing Cream one.
And I also realized that I just recently, I'm dehydrated oily, right? The whole concept kind of blew my mind. And these ones, because they have hyaluronic acid, they keep my water balance up. And my skin is going to produce oil anyway. And I think these type of creams are so good because once oil and water balance are like kind of evened out, that's when your skin doesn't produce oil. Excessive oil. That's why when I use other creams, it feels like the oil is going up while the hydration is just kind of low. And even if my skin doesn't produce excessive oils, it just feels oily and greasy for me. That's why the hyaluronic, the Dive-In line creams really, really like feel like my oil is just being controlled. TikTok taught me something, again, for the millionth time, how to get the best out of like toners, because toner is for hydrating, right? When your skin is like a little bit wet from after washing, not fully dry, wipe it with put the toner pad on a cotton and then wipe it around, and then it kind of opens your pores and it preps your skin to be able to absorb the most of the toner. And then you put the toner in your hand and you pat it down and you kind of like make it soak into your
Yes.
skin.
If you imagine a sponge and you put just dishwasher, it's not really gonna get it absorbed. But if you put dishwasher on a wet sponge, it goes on so much better. It's just like that.
That's why I always say skincare is like from the light to the thickest,
Yes,
right?
yes. This is something that every single makeup artist do. You know, I've gotten like my makeup done by professionals a couple of times now, and all of them, without missing one.
And they always pat. When they do the serums and cream, they smooth it out and then pat, pat, pat.
You have to
smooth
pat.
it out, pat, pat, pat.
Yeah, you have to make sure it gets absorbed in, and it makes a huge difference. I know some people are like, why do you pat? It's like,
because if you like kind of smear it, it's gonna sit on top of your face, and when you put a makeup on top of it, it's gonna melt down.
and you know what? If you just do that,
Yeah.
it sits at the edge of your face, and that's why if you don't do this and you just do that, all of your makeup here is gonna peel.
Oh, no. The CEO,
Oh.
he apparently wanted the line to, like the diamond line especially, to imitate the ocean.
I love that. Hey, that's
so pretty.
That makes sense now because one time I got a PR package from them and they gave me a snorkeling device. I'm like, what am I gonna do? But now it makes sense.
Now it makes sense. Genuinely really like Torriden because like they apparently target it for dry skin because
Oh.
it hydrates. So they want dry skins to get the most of it. But as an oily skin, it works for me too. So
Yes.
I feel like everyone can get a benefit from this.
I love Torriden because it's one of those brands where I can recommend it to anyone. Because I have subscribers and followers. People ask me all the time, what should I use? And there are great brands out there, you know. But to be honest, I don't know their situation with skin, and I don't know
Yeah.
if they're sensitive.
It's like a safe option.
yeah.
It can never go wrong.
You can never go wrong. I feel like all of the products are gentle enough that anyone can use it.
Torriden is like
Do you know Torriden 사장님's name? 권 대표님!
권 대표님.
권 대표님 사랑합니다.
Yes, thank
you
you.
for the snorkeling devices.
And thank you for saving my skin. We'll see you in the next video.
Bye.